Ladies and gentlemen, let's talk about AITX. I did watch Steve Reinhardt's video, and it was a whole. I'm not gonna say it's a whole nothing burger, but it was not what I expected. I thought he was gonna have like a presentation and maybe a slideshow where he would be like, "Hey, here's the game plan. Let's go into detail." But he kind of just said the obvious, and the obvious is, and I've said this before because of Aitx stock. I've said this before. If you're gonna uplist, the most important thing is going into it with strength, a clean balance sheet, growing revenues, going into it with momentum and some kind of game plan. Because I asked Aitx, I sent them the interview script not too long ago. They haven't responded yet. Maybe they will. Maybe they're busy. I don't know. They said they're going to uplist to subsidiaries soon. So maybe they're really busy with that and the due diligence that's happening in Dubai. But I did ask, where is it? Right here. I asked them, when Aitx uplists to a higher exchange, is buying back shares part of the game plan in order to give the stock forward and positive momentum? As you well know, the biggest shareholder fear is an uplist to a higher exchange only to then be beat over the head under $1, thus leading to a cycle of reverse splits to stay on said higher exchange. We've seen that happen with Mullen, and I don't think I need to show you Mullen chart. It just keeps going down over the long term. The opposite of NVIDIA, which keeps going up over the long term. To follow my previous inquiry, are there strategies outside of share buybacks to give the stock the best chance possible at holding a price point above $1 so as to avoid and mitigate damage to shareholders' hard-earned but well-invested money? So, very yeah. So that's pretty much the same question that you would ask any stock that's uplisting. Like, what's your game plan here? Like, you can't just go. Yeah, I mean, sure, if you want to be lazy, you can just be like, "Yep, we're gonna reverse split to Nasdaq. Good luck, shareholders. Like, good luck, have fun. If it works out, great. If it doesn't, oh well." Is there a plan in place to deal with potential paid bashers or trolls or short sellers if they rear their ugly head upon Aitx's uplist in order to mitigate potential stock price beatdowns? So, like, I was essentially asking, what are you going to do to prevent the share price of Aitx upon uplisting from getting beat down? Because that is the biggest threat. And so, for example, AITX, it's the same thing. It's the exact same scenario. Like, what are you? I get it. I get it. Okay. Let me just, before I continue, I remember making this AITX game plan. I remember making this PDF and infographic, whatever you want to call it. And I keep track of everything that the guy says, the AITX Steve Reinhardt says. This year, they're focused on continuous increase in sales growth. So we're going to get a lot of PRs related to sales growth, I'm sure. They've already dropped like 50 PRs in 5 months. So he's definitely living up to that. Next year, 2025, cleaning up debt / balance sheet, which I believe he will follow through on. Strong position to uplist in 2026 allegedly, and no reverse split in 2025, and operationally profitable. So they want to go into it with strength. They're working towards that, and as long as they follow through, it gives us the best chance possible at not getting destroyed. It gives shareholders the best chance possible of not getting destroyed when they reverse split. Or no, not reverse split. He didn't. Maybe he won't reverse split. Maybe he decides to do a reverse merger. Maybe, because plans do change. Sometimes maybe they decide in the future, you know what, we might reverse merger. Maybe not. Maybe they will do a reverse split. Maybe they'll find another way to get to a higher exchange. But all that aside, the biggest threat is going to be getting beat over the head. So he's correct. Like, everything he said in that video was right, but it's not anything mind blowing. I thought he was gonna give us something like more details in an infographic or something. But yeah, I don't expect the share price to move. I don't expect like a big green candle. Like, I don't expect a huge run. I think maybe at best, we're just gonna start to go sideways here, which is fine. I don't know if I'll buy. I'll still wait and see if it slowly bleeds out. But other than that, like I said, the biggest threat is going to be the beatdown. What is AITX going to do to prevent that? That is on the company to figure out. Like, and I hope that they do come out with their game plan and tell us, okay, so this is the game plan. Are they going to buy back shares? Because their share structure is not that great. It's pretty bad. Like, it's Like it's not that, yeah, it's not that great. Let me see. Let me pull out the calculator and let me just do some math here. But buying back shares, definitely that gives the stock positive and forward momentum. Maybe they do some acquisitions, some big PRs. Maybe they get a huge sales number and they hold off on that PR and then release it upon uplist to really give the stock as much momentum as possible. I could definitely see them doing that. You got to do basically everything you can to keep the share price from going under $1, because again, that's the biggest threat. Because if you have a million shares, let's just say for math's sake, let's just say you have a million shares and then they reverse split times, let's just say they 10x, they do a 10x reverse split. So we just divide by 10, which is going to be 100,000. 100,000 shares. Now you have 100,000 shares at $5. Let's say it gets beat over the head and now reverse splits a second time. Let's say they do a 5x reverse split, so now they're back at $5 again, and your shares are now only 20,000. So now you only have 20,000 shares, and then the cycle just rinse and repeats, and you get absolutely demolished. You know, unlike Nvidia, which it likes to stock split forward. Actually, it does the opposite. You have 200 shares of Nvidia, or 2,000. Let's say 2,000, and then they do a stock split, and you get twice as many shares, let's say. So now you have 4,000 shares at $100 a piece, and then it goes to $1,000. I don't think it's hit $1,000 yet, but it's at 900. So you just made 8x return on more shares. So yeah, it's the worst thing that can happen is that beat down, because it doesn't matter how many shares you have right now. If it gets beat down, you're gonna get destroyed. So that's why I don't. For those of you always asking why don't you invest, this is why, because this is the biggest risk. And until they uplist and hold a bottom somewhere that's above $1, there's no reason to invest, in my opinion. Let's just wait. Let's hold off. This isn't going to run to the moon. It's not going to move like GME and suddenly just start skyrocketing. Not a lot of people know about AITX. AITX is it's small potatoes. Like there's people that I've talked to who have never even heard of AITX, and it only came onto their radar because they watched my SoundHound AI video, and they were like, "Wow, I've never heard of AITX. I'm going to keep an eye on this one." And they saw the run up on AITX, so of course that also caught their interest of some traders who were trading SoundHound, and they're like, "Wow, there's an AI stock in Pennyland and that can move 100%. Okay, I'm gonna jump in on that one next time it bottoms out." So yeah, there's just a lot of potential here with AI stocks, AI in general. I think AI is the future. You know, right now I think it's still in its infancy, and you have to have that big brain and think ahead, have that foresight. Like there's going to be so much more. You think right now it's amazing, just wait until hopefully we're alive when it's really truly incredible. Kind of like Wilbur Wright and the airplane. Like he created a craft that can fly, but he wasn't alive to see what we have now. We have drones that fly now. We have these big giant aircraft that carry a ton of people and luggage and to other places in the world, and you have jets, and yeah, and you have helicopters, and you have all these things that can fly in the air now. And I don't think he was alive for all that, but he did create that first, you know, aircraft. So but that was the infancy stage. That was just the beginning, and who knows what the future might bring. We might have AI that's in some kind of craft that just floats around and brings you dinner. I don't know, but that's it for the video, guys. I think there's a lot of potential here. The story is good. AI stocks. Don't sleep on them. Buy when it makes sense. And for me, it only makes sense after they get up to the higher exchange and hold a bottom. And that is when I will be invested. I am invested in SoundHound. That's the only one that I think that's it. That in Nvidia. But other than that, AI stocks are the way to go, I think. And so you should keep an eye on all of them. But yeah, SoundHound meets my criteria. Why does it meet my criteria? It's already on a higher exchange. It's bottomed out. It bottomed out down here above $1.50. So yeah, you can see very clearly this thing bottomed out at $1.50. So this meets my criteria for a long term hold. because A, it's bottomed out above $1, and B, it likes to have run-ups, and C, it's an AI stock with a lot of potential. And that is exactly, this is like a perfect example of what I'm looking for in AITX. Know your risk, know what the reward is, but I just personally wouldn't buy right now. I would wait. It's not too many shareholders are holding AITX thinking it's gonna like just absolutely go bonkers. It's just gonna go to Nasdaq and go to the moon. But that's what is this? This isn't 2020, 2021, and it's not GME or AMC. It's not a meme stock. It's a nothing stock. Not that many people know about it, but I think in due time people will know. But they got to do the correct things, and they are, and they've been following through. They're not like Eyeless. I hope not. He seems very transparent. He's talking about Steve Reinharz, so I think it's going to work out. And hopefully, this is a positive message for everyone. Definitely, don't sleep on AI stocks in general. But once it meets my criteria, I will invest in AITX, and it'll be the easiest money ever. But and yeah, and I'm still going to continue to do what I do. I will buy bottoms. It doesn't matter if it's AI, if it's SoundHound, if it's, well, maybe not BBAI because its revenues are absolutely tanking, and you can see it's also tanking. Look at this. This is an AI stock and it's tanking, even though all the other AI stocks have been on a channel to the upside. So let that sink in. So, and that's because BBAI has terrible revenues. So yeah, revenues that keep falling year over year. So fundamentals are important. I do look at fundamentals. I know a lot of people tell me, oh, you only look at the technicals, but no, I actually look at the big picture. And then I look for the bottom. And if it's at the bottom, guess what? I'm jumping in. If not, I can wait. I can be patient. That is it for the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I will see you guys in the next